Hey, welcome back to Spiritual Modalities for a Spiritual Life, continuing the work. This is our next class, and we're going to be uncovering, discovering, touching, and tasting the modality of Reiki. What is Reiki? Do you believe that everything is energy? Do you believe that we are all just a vibrational being and that we are eternal? And do you believe that we can truly heal ourselves? Well, if you don't, you're going to want to stay watching. And if you do, stay watching also. We'll be talking about how Reiki can do that for you, for yourself, for your life, and for others around you. Sounds fascinating? I can't wait to introduce you to Carolyn Nicholson Fowler. She's coming up next as we move on for spiritual modalities and we look at Reiki as a healing modality. Stay watching. A little lay up to Carolyn before she comes on. I want to do a little beautiful intro and a bio to my beautiful friend. And I will tell you that I met Carolyn through divine timing. Seems to be the topic around me lately. Carolyn was suggested to work with me years ago, a couple years ago, I guess. And this one particular day, I was looking and thinking about this class. It was coming to me on my bike rides. Those of you who know me know what that means. And the referral came in. And Carol had been referred to me a year earlier, but that one particular day was the day I was out researching and trying to find a Reiki person to come and take our class. So we quickly connected, came right in, did sessions together. I've been to her Reiki shares. I just will say that those of you who know her, this woman's heart is truly in it. She had her own personal experience with Reiki, once given to her son who was passing away, and then for herself for her grief. And it was that awakening and that understanding of how just impactful this modality can be to help people process anything and their own energy that she became devoted to bringing this work to others. And she does that in many ways. I'm so excited to bring her expertise, to bring her energy, to bring her loving heart to you all now. That's coming up next. Next time will be Carolyn and I breaking it down. Stay watching for our rapid fire and the blooper reel. It's coming up at the end. Enjoy. We're back. Carolyn just came in. We're ready for our second beautiful video here jointly. So excited. As I said in the intro, this woman is touched my heart and she's about to touch many of yours. So we're discovering and talking about Reiki today. And I was hoping, Carolyn, since we've talked about our class being an opportunity for everyone to touch and taste different modalities, if you could give us a taste and a touch of Reiki so that we can become empowered, learn more about it, and know that we have our own ability to heal ourselves and even heal others. So
Reiki is joy, it's life, it's healing, and it's peaceful, and it's gentle, and it's fun. So I don't know how to better explain it than that. It's just beautiful energy. It floods your heart, and then it floods your body. And it can lead to a much better life.
So how did you get involved in Reiki? Take us back a little bit and give us how long have you been doing this?
Okay, it was 2009.
Okay.
My oldest son, John, passed away. And we had done some Reiki around him in the hospital. And it was at that point I realized I could see energy and color, which was a
in the
big
hospital room.
Yeah, it was huge. I didn't know I could do that. So after he died, and I'm trying to muddle through, going back to work and trying to make things as normal as possible, I realized I was starting to get stuck and I wasn't going to stay there. I just refused. So I called the lady that had done some Reiki in his room and said, let's try this.
Was she your Reiki master?
She became my Reiki master.
Too funny.
She is a healer and a beautiful, beautiful soul, and she's local here. So anyone who wants to meet her can. She came to my home and gave me Reiki, and it was the most transformative moment of my entire life.
That's a good question for me to set up for the class too. I know there's levels, level 1, level 2, Reiki Master. take me through some of the levels so I can understand why is some people a Reiki Master and some people are Reiki 1? What does that mean?
Reiki level 1 is the foundation. You learn the history, you connect with the energy and what it feels like. You learn how to self-treat.
Okay.
That's Shoden in Japanese, and Reiki level 2 in Japanese is Okuden.
Okay.
And level 2 really gets fun because there you learn how to send Reiki over great distances. I have treated people in Australia, Pakistan, Sweden, and Alberta, Canada. It's just amazing. Then you learn the Kodadama, which are the chants. You learn the symbols, which are great fun, and they kind of potentiate and help you call in specific energies that you want to use to heal. Reiki Master is a lifelong commitment, and the joke about being a Reiki Master is that you're really not a master of anything. We kind of hand you okay, you've studied a little bit. Now, good luck, because you get to try to master yourself.
So when you're a Reiki Master, does it mean you're automatically a teacher, or you've just succumbed
No,
to some level?
There are different levels.
Okay.
Some teachers teach 3A and 3B, which is Master and Master Teacher. I teach them together simply because I can't imagine having them separate.
Okay, so basically, in my first question of like, how long have you been doing this? It's a total of how many years?
10.
Okay, so we got how you got involved. What is the backdrop story to this modality? I think the history really defines a lot of what we do.
The
right?
history is interesting because Mikao Usui is the Japanese man that kind of came up with this healing system of Reiki, and he at age 57 went up on Mount Karama to meditate, and what his life purpose was. He'd tried a lot of things. He'd studied Buddhism, Christianity, medicine, martial arts. He'd done a lot, but he didn't feel like he'd really found his niche, and so he was kind of depressed. He did come up with this healing modality and began to teach it as a spiritual pursuit. Mostly.
For himself, or did he know it was for others?
Oh, he knew he had to share it.
Okay.
There was a lot to be gleaned from this. But also in 1923, there was a huge earthquake in Tokyo, and many people were hurt and killed. And he and his students went down from his clinic and started treating people in the streets of Tokyo, and the healings were amazing, and the interest in Reiki just really took off.
I love that. So some of the basic principles, I know we don't want to go into a lot of detail. We'll be doing that more in class. But again, for people who are getting a touch and a taste of how this process actually works, I know we were talking offline about they're not the chakras. So can you give a little bit of the basics?
Reiki is an energy that you tap into. It's universal life force energy. You can call it as it comes from God, source, universe, whatever
consciousness. Is that another word?
So it comes. You connect every school of Reiki, and there are many, have different ways to connect. Some people simply sit in Gasho. I do the Hatsureiho move, and I'll teach that in the class that we're going to have. You ask for and channel this beautiful energy. It's intelligent energy and loving energy. And it's the best thing you can do is stand back from it, take your ego out of it, and detach from the outcome.
So here's a question. When you first started connecting to this and learning this, was it easy for you, or was it like, what am I doing standing here with my hands?
I read everything I could get my hands on, so it was actually a year or two before I started working on people. And of course, my family was handy, and they were like, oh, brother, here she goes again. So it was fun. And working with family is hard because you know each other really well, and that can kind of get in the way sometimes, but...
So if you had to classify Reiki in a quick kind of one sentence thing, what would you say? Reiki is a modality that is about channeling light?
It's about channeling energy and frequency and balance. And Reiki is Reiki is all about balance.
Okay, explain that.
The more balanced your body is, then the easier it is for your body to heal.
So when you're working with somebody who's on the table, and let's say like you don't know they have a knee issue, or they don't know they have a headache or a migraine that's right there, and you're scanning their body and you're asking and you're channeling.
Very
and connecting
good.
To
We
all
do
this
scan.
Light. Okay.
It's called Biosin scanning, and your hands turn into very, very sensitive antenna, and you go over the body. And I interpret. They're called hibiki in Japanese.
Another word.
It's an energy density that you feel. I feel heat. Other people feel density. Other people get tingles. Other people get cold. It's all about balance, and we take some energy out.
So the more you do it, the better
in.
you get.
Absolutely.
So we'll feel this if we're doing this in class together?
Yes, you will.
I think that's really cool. How does somebody work with you? If somebody needs a session, and what are your typical clients look like?
I don't think there is a typical customer. I've done everyone from 93 years old to 6 years old. So
who reaches out to you mostly? Like you must have, like, I'll give you an example. In my practice, right, people who are going through transition, people who are, in a place where they need help with guidance and making decisions and stuff. So those are my clients. Who are your clients?
People who they're kind of getting tired of allopathic medicine.
I was going to say the medicine. Okay.
Yeah, they're tired of having pills thrown at them that don't seem to be working, and they want to feel better. And a lot of them are quite depressed because they don't see a way out. They haven't felt good in a long, long time. So they're really willing to try anything, and at that point, Reiki will work great. So to be open to it.
That's a beautiful lead into my next question, which is success stories. So I think when we hear someone's success, we can really apply, that sounds like me. So take me through a couple stories that you've had success in working with somebody who's maybe, I'd like to say, never experienced Reiki before, so they're coming to you for the first time.
Well, one of them came to me and was in the middle of treatment for breast cancer. And my hands just went like a magnet. She never told me which side. It was evident to me where it was. And as we worked, she became more and more curious about Reiki, and she became a student and became a master teacher. And she had been taking sleeping pills for like 30 years, and after Reiki, didn't need them anymore. Another lady came to me with a broken elbow post-surgery, and it was a lot of pain. She struggled to get out of this brace that she was in, and we had to prop her elbow with pillows, and she was very uncomfortable the first couple of times. And I think I saw her 4 times, and the 4th time she was not wearing her brace, and she was like weeks ahead of her healing as far as her doctor and her physical therapist were concerned. She was amazed.
I love that. Do people typically come back to you, or do they come for a couple times and then you never see them again?
Oh, both. It's like people say, how often should I come? I'm like, you're the only one that can say that. I kind of liken it to a chiropractor. If you go and you're in a lot of pain, he's going to move the bones back where they're supposed to be, but having been out of alignment for so long, they slide out again. Yeah. So you see them every week for a while, and then they start to stay where they're supposed to be. So you can back off to maybe every other week, and then you get to a place where it's just maintenance, and you go once a month.
I guess I'm also thinking of grief, right? Because we've both been through that process. I remember I scheduled a monthly massage because I carried a lot of my grief in my neck. And I went to Reiki for the same thing. I actually went to Reiki every week with my energy healer. And so, you can get a healing that 3 days later it integrates, right? But what really happens is then you miss your daughter, or some things change, and life goes on, and then
grief
you need another attunement.
It's not a smooth process because you'll go through different grief stages, and then something will happen. You'll hear a song, you'll see somebody that looks like, and you're right back at the beginning.
That's a good
again.
point.
It's so grief is unique that way. It's not a smooth healing process. So
like so many other things out there in our beautiful life, right?
right.
So that's another, thank you for sharing those beautiful stories. What's another way that Reiki has changed your life? And maybe even share a story about someone that has also, it's changed their life. You know, it's kind of like a success story, but how has Reiki shaped your life?
Well, Reiki just, it makes you want to show up as a better person. You change, you lose a lot of your anger, you deal with it. Part of the process of learning Reiki is the peeling away and the dealing with anger and resentment and the withholding of forgiveness that you've been walking around with. You have to deal with this stuff.
So as a healer, you need to be healed? Is that what you're saying?
You need to be actively working on it. Yeah. I would say not everybody's healed or we wouldn't be here.
That's true. But we're a work in progress.
Yeah, we are.
I heard something really fascinating the other day. I want to share it in this interview. The energy of compassion has, they were saying and documented, like, you know, if you sat for hours meditating, the same benefit of being compassionate towards another person, your body receives the same benefit of a 2-hour meditation. And if that doesn't get you all being more compassionate out there, because that's what the world needs, right? I think that's really fascinating. So here you are being compassionate, helping other people. I love that.
Well, I teach Karuna Reiki, which is sort of Reiki college.
Well, yeah, what is
Karuna?
Are there different kinds of Reiki?
There are, definitely.
How many, like thousands?
Probably at least hundreds.
And why this one for you? And
this one for me is it incorporates, it's deeper. It incorporates 8 more symbols. It calls in very specific energies, and it's really deep. The thing that I love about it is Karuna. The word Karuna means compassionate action.
Oh, I love that.
In Sanskrit.
So let's do this. Take a second, comment below. Are you somebody who's had Reiki? Are you listening to this and going, what are they talking about? So we'd like to kind of know and get a sense of how many people are watching this that actually have had Reiki before. We want to know who you are. Comment below. Okay, cool. What's the best way to connect with you? Somebody wants to work with you.
Jeannie's going to put these up for you. So I have a website that you can talk to me.
Got a newsletter. I think I saw that.
And all my classes and my events are listed on there. And some classes from teachers that work with me. I have 3 Facebook pages, Peaceful Healing School, Peaceful Healing, and my own. And I have an Instagram, Carolyn17325. Okay, so
perfect. So because this is class and people are coming for class, we should have 4 questions for them, you know, things that they want to do coming to Circle to share to get them in the energy and set up what you think we're going to do in class. I think you said we're actually going to do a healing, right?
I'm going to take you through a Reiki session step by step, the way that I do it, which is intuitive and not.
How are you going to decide which one of us gets worked on? Can we put our names in a hat or something? Or
that would be a great idea.
And pick somebody, because we all probably could use it.
Would love, yeah.
So let's get to our questions for Circle, because this month we're going to be focused for the next 30 days. Now that we've just finished health coaching and we're living the healthier life and we're eating better, we've got energy to move. Carolyn's going to help us through that. And here's the questions you need to come to class ready to answer in Circle. Let's do it.
I would love to know what you think Reiki is. What have you heard about it? What is your impression of it? And
even if you've had it, right?
Right.
What do you
Tell
think
me what you think it is.
Okay.
And since Reiki is about balance, in what area do you feel you need the most balance?
Like that.
You know, Reiki works on the etheric, the spiritual, the emotional, the mental, and the physical. So of those, what do you think?
Love that.
And when did you last feel joy? I want to hear that. Joy, absolutely bubbling over.
Right now, being with Carolyn, so I love that.
And of these, since Reiki is about balance, of these, which do you want to connect with the most?
So over the next 30 days, they're going to have a practice for clarity or a practice.
So the 4 that I've come up with are clarity, joy, purpose, or balance?
Love that.
What would you like to work on the most? So,
and guess what? You're going to have to do it. So remember, you're accountable to your own work today. Okay, any last comments as we kind of wrap up before we head into our rapid fire? Anything else that you think
just
I'm
that
missing?
Reiki is joy. Reiki is fun. Reiki is, a lot of people have the image that if it's Japanese, it's very serious.
Good point.
It must be very, well, you'd have to meet a certain level of competency, but it's so much fun. It's so much, we laugh and laugh in class. So it's great fun.
I love that since we're focused on joy, right? Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
You know where we're going.
Mm-hmm.
We're going into our rapid fire questions.
All righty.
I think that's the part I'm enjoying the most. Hate to admit it. Okay, are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody in life has that one movie that's kind of just stays with us and we love. What is your favorite movie?
Oddly enough, The Last Samurai.
There's the Reiki Master in her.
So in this, the warrior, the samurai warrior, as he lays dying on the battlefield, looks up and sees cherry blossoms being blown off a tree, and they're going gently to the ground. And his last word as he sees this is,
oh, too funny. Love it. Going fast. Here we go. If you could change the world today, the world needs what in order to change for the better?
less fear. I think that's the basis of hate.
I love that. We all have pet peeves. Come on, you're no better than anyone else, right? What
Absolutely.
is your
entitled
pet peeve?
people who treat people who are working like waiters and store people badly.
Okay, I love that.
That bothers me.
And what is a personal, beautiful quality that you have about yourself that you want to share with us? Something you love.
My sense of humor. I laugh all the time, so.
I agree. That's beautiful. I love that about you also. And then the last one, which is so fitting, thank you for your time today. If you were experiencing joy, what are you doing?
I'm teaching or doing or connecting with Reiki. It's and the people that it has brought into my life.
I love that.
It's amazing.
Carolyn, thank you for your time today.
Thank you.
Looking forward to everyone coming back. We're all getting ready for our next session, which is Reiki focused. Carolyn's going to give you her time, her love, and her energy. We'll see you at class. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to like this video and share if you care. Bye.
Thank you.
Carolyn, come back. I didn't get in a blooper reel of you. You have to make a mistake. Oh wait, you're perfect. Can you make something? Can you trip? Can you try to do something?
I could try to do a cartwheel. I've never been able to do those.
Well, let's do that. That'll be my blooper reel. Say
Yep.
goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you. Thanks for your time today.
Bye.
Bye.